the Earth
I'm
flat?
sorry. It's the a flat horizon is the only thing any of us have ever seen with our own eyes, right? If you go to the beach, the water appears to be flat to our eyes, right? Same thing
My
from a plane.
Coca-Cola was flat.
If you look out from a plane, it doesn't look like there's a ball under you. It looks like it's flat still. And there's a bunch of people now who are taking high altitude helium balloons. Like you get a balloon, as much helium as you can, you send it as high as you can with a camera on it, right? Does it ever look like a ball under you? Guess what? At 148,000 feet above Earth, which is 5 times higher than the cruising altitude of planes, so 5 times higher than planes fly, it still looks like a flat horizon. So basically, the only thing anyone has ever seen with their own eyes is a flat Earth. And a motionless one too. It doesn't feel like we're spinning. It doesn't feel like we're moving at all. The ground under you doesn't move at all. So, yeah, I don't know. I
Wait,
don't
wait,
believe.
but what about missiles? Like you know how
Basically,
when they go into the sky and then they rotate and then they go down at a slanted
exactly.
angle because the Earth. I mean, I'm just saying like I feel like if the Earth was flat, it would just like fly in a straight line and then
I
dip
would
down. But
think that if the missiles were going to space, they would fly in a straight line straight up. But like you said, rockets don't do that. Rockets fly in an arc. They say it's because, well, they're going beyond the curve of the Earth and they're getting into orbit. But in reality, what you see is just the rocket going down. Like, okay, what you see is what you get. So your eyes, the way you described it was, it appears as though the rocket is going down. And guess what? It is. The rockets are just kind of basically being lobbed a little bit. All the rockets are launched from coastal Florida. Why do they have to launch rockets from the coast? If they're just going straight up into space, you should be able to launch rockets anywhere into space. But they do it off the coast of Florida because if you Google where is the Bermuda Triangle, what's the deal with
what
the
the
Bermuda
fuck does the
Triangle?
Bermuda Triangle got to do with any
Exactly.
of this?
It's this mysterious place, right, where nobody knows anything about. They say ships disappear there.
I
There's
know
no
about
drone
it.
footage.
Jack Sparrow taught me about the Bermuda Triangle.
It's right off the coast of Florida, and it's where the rockets are actually landing. But they've invented a whole story around it. It's this mysterious place. We can't get any footage there. There's drones aren't allowed there. Ships aren't allowed there. It's too dangerous for you to go there. It's off limits for you. But it's literally right off the coast of Florida. Like it's close to the beach. So it's kind of like, how mysterious could that shit really be, you know? But yeah, it's just a cover up. The rockets are going straight down into, I don't know, probably the water. And then that's it. They just make up a story about how they're going to space. And if you actually watch any of these rocket launches live, like they show them on YouTube and TV and shit. But after the launch, like it'll leave the launch pad and then it'll cut to CGI within like 30 seconds. It's going to be like, here's what's happening right now on the rocket. The stage 2 thrusters are detected. And it shows you like a diagram, little CGI thing. But it's not that's not real. And then they cut back to like some smoke of the rocket and they're like, oh yeah, fuck, it's in space. And then it cuts and that's it. But they never have once shown us uninterrupted footage of a rocket like leaving Earth until we see our ball from space. Like, how sick would that be? And like some
But
cool
what
footage.
about that one Red Bull footage where the guy with the
Yeah.
parachute he jumped?
So it looked like it was a globe there and it was curving, but we're using GoPros to film that with fisheye lenses from the outside. And if you actually rewatch that Red Bull launch, the guy's name is Felix Baumgartner. If you rewatch that Red Bull launch, and you look inside the cabin of what the thing he jumped out of, if you look inside that, it actually shows a flat horizon because there's like no, they're not using like a GoPro or whatever. There's a camera from inside, basically. So it's a flat horizon. Even Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's like a astrophysicist and popular with kids and teaches a lot of people about space and stuff, he agrees that he wasn't even high enough to see the curvature of the Earth. He was only about 120,000 feet, and the balloons I was talking about are 148,000 feet, so higher. Wow, nice shot. So even 28,000 feet higher, it's still flat. So it's like, I don't know, man. They use a lot of convincing video tricks and stuff to give it the illusion of curvature, which kind of sells the illusion that we're on a ball, right? But they'll admit to it being fisheye. They're very sneaky in that way. They'll admit to the fact that they use fisheyes. It's just that most people don't really think that. They just think, oh, it looks round, and that's because, Earth is round eventually, but it's not really. Earth is round eventually is just some shit that some people made up. The government, basically, and they're evil and they lie to us, and none of us can actually prove it. You can think of it that way. Like I've been trying to prove we're on a round Earth for myself with my own eyes, and I can't do it. And I've been trying to prove that Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. And I started googling, what's the proof? Like how they say Earth is spinning, and they say we're orbiting the sun, and they say we're flying through space and shit. So I'm googling, like, how do I figure
I
this
think the
out?
Earth is spinning,
I
but
mean,
here's why. Okay, listen. It could never be that the sun is spinning around us, because we'd get
it
cooked
is.
alive. So we're spinning around the sun.
Okay,
And
but they have also
no,
lied about the
listen,
sun.
listen. A good example of
Okay.
this is your shadow. Okay, the more you rotate around, like it just depends. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I even say anything, the poles,
What are you talking about?
right? You know, North Pole, South Pole.
Yeah.
Listen. They tilt, bro. They tilt literally because we're spinning, and the
Yeah, they
weather
say
literally plays a big part. And I say that without us spinning, the weather would stay the same all around universally. But it's not. That's just my
right.
case though.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying, and basically you're saying the reason we have seasons, which we obviously have, is because of Earth's spin and tilt combo leads
I
to like
literally think
the
that's the only reason
right.
why we have seasons.
That's what they taught us all growing up. Like that's what I used to believe for the majority of my life, right? But what I'm here to propose is that the sun is not as big as they say it is. It's not like the center of everything and we're all orbiting around it. It's actually just like a light, like a small light actually. It's not this super bright light that can go forever and its light travels forever either. It's about the same size as the moon. Like there's two lights. There's the sun and there's the moon. One is hot and one is cold. They're basically the same size. Like if you like look at a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse, the sun and moon, when one of them is in front of the other, they're like the exact same size. They start blocking each other out, right? It's like pixel perfect almost. So to
Yeah,
our
but what
eyes,
about a solar eclipse?
they appear to be the same size. I don't know. The lights in the sky are moving around and shit. I don't know what to tell you. But I would argue the moon is clearly has phases. The moon is doing a 28-day phase cycle. Like what's up with that moon, right? They say it's like a light. They say
I
it's not
think
a
it's
light. They
because
say it's
the
a rock.
sun.
So
Can you
I would
explain
argue
why my Coke was flat then?
the reason your Coke is flat is actually I can link that totally back into science. Here's something that science can't answer. Okay, we have gas pressure on Earth, as in the air you breathe is gas, right? So if you look up the definition of gas requires a container because to have gas pressure, you need the gas to press off of a container. If you go to Google, type define gas, it says a particle that fills the container that it's in, which basically means when you open up a soda can and it goes, hold on, when you open up a soda can and it goes, right? Why is it doing that? Right? Why is it doing that? It's Fresca. What I'm saying though, why is it doing that? It's because their high pressurized gas is trying to seek equilibrium into a low pressure environment. It's because there's so much gas pressure and fizz in there that it's fucking charged up and ready to go. And the second it can leave the container, it will. So now that I've opened that can, it's going to start to go flat because the pressurized gas is leaving the container the second you introduce it to a bigger container, because that's what gas does. Gas will always go to a bigger container and start filling that one the second you introduce a bigger container. But guess what? What I'm trying to say is around Earth, we have an atmosphere and it is not leaking into space. Like our atmosphere is made of gas and it should be in this open container of space, and yet it's not being sucked off into space. And guess
Okay.
what? Modern physics has no answer to that.